Hello. Thanks. I have to put my glasses away, actually. I have to wear glasses now, because I'm getting feckin' old. It's shit. Shit getting old. I have to wear glasses. Everything within about 3 or 4 foot is out of focus now. That's what happens when you get to about my age. I think it's nature's way of keeping couples together as they get older. Because you just wake up beside a blur on the pillow, and you're just like, I think you're still beautiful. I haven't a fucking clue. I haven't seen you in years. I haven't seen you in years. Take a run across that field till you're in focus. Ah, there you are. Yeah, I recognise you now. How are you doing? Yeah. But I'm deluded, though. I mean, like a lot of men, we don't accept. Like when I look in the mirror, I look at a very young fella, and. But I was brought down to earth about 2 years ago. I was going into a little festival in the Midlands, and there was a lot of youngish people around the entrance. And as I was going in, a youngish girl was trying to get me eye, and I was like, in my head, I was going, brilliant, I still have it. In my head, I was going, yes. I wasn't actually doing that, because that would have really put her off. But... And then she was making a beeline for me, and I was going, yes, brilliant, amazing. And then she came right up to me, and she looked down on me. She was huge, and big Midlands girl, and Longford. And she said, can you pretend to be my father so I can get into the festival? And that's when I accepted. I am an old fella. Anyway, yeah. No, when I was growing up, there was no internet, right? There was nothing. Parents didn't have to be afraid of anything. When I was a kid, the only thing that mothers were afraid of with their kids was if they were playing near a plastic bag. Isn't that it? That was the big fear. Because, see, your mother would come in, there'd be kids just playing away happily, but there's a plastic bag beside them. It's like, oh my jeez, the plastic bag! They could have all smothered. Oh! That was the fear, that you just get a plastic bag, put it on your head and smother. That was it. Oh, put it away before anyone dies. Oh, God. Now, go on out and play in the road. Go up and play in the road. Go out, play the road. Go up to Dirty Willie's house and play outside there. Just Dirty Willie, he's just a character. He's a fella who lives on his own and loves children. It's just a bit of a character. Anyway, yeah. So that was the only fear. So there was no internet, and everything was banned as well. It was a very Catholic country. All the contraceptives were banned. That film, The Life of Brian, was banned. A lot of books were banned, and no dirty magazines. Remember, there's no dirty magazines. And I was living on a farm in Meath. And I was like at 15. I was 15. I'd never seen a photograph of a naked woman. I didn't know or seen a real one either, by the way, obviously. That goes without saying. I didn't know what they looked like. The only naked women I'd seen were ones I'd drawn myself. And they were not anatomically correct. Like, they were just stick people with boobs. That was it, So I was dying to have a look at one, just a picture of one, and but I found out there was one magazine you could get. I don't know if anyone knows this, but back in the 70s there was a magazine, it was a loophole. This magazine you could get because it was a naturist magazine. So it was naked people, but they were, yes, nice, but they were just doing normal stuff, like putting up shelves and mowing the lawn, just going in the lip. Just in the nude. And it was a German magazine called H&E, which stood for Health and Efficiency. That was a real magazine, right? And we're all Germans in the nude, just happy, just putting up tents in the nude, and just happy as Larry. And and then there was one woman lighting a campfire in the second page, and she was lighting a campfire with her, and she had loads of, I have to explain something. There's a couple of young girls here. You won't have heard of this, but back in the 70s, there was a thing called pubic hair, but you wouldn't have heard of that. No, yeah, it was everywhere in the 70s. It was rampant. In fact, you got a grant the more you had. You got a... Someone came around and counted it and they'd give you a check and some lads were trying to get two grants. They'd have a pube sticking out of their noses and ears and stuff like that, just trying to get extra grants. And but anyway, this woman had loads of it and she was lighting a campfire. And I was supposed to be... I bought this magazine to get maybe to get aroused by it, you know what I mean? But I couldn't get aroused when I saw her with the campfire so near to all this. I thought, someone tell her this is a risky proposition she's at here. You know, this is a health and safety issue for a start, but just dangerous. Like one stray spark and the whole lot will go up. And that's called a bushfire. Oh yeah, genius. Genius. I don't know. I wasn't going to say that word with what's going on at the minute, but it's nothing to do with that. So, but yeah. So but it is a weird thing. Like a lot of men and women of my age are. It's kind of odd that young people are just doing like topiary on their nether regions. Do you know what topiary is? It's when you cut shapes in a hedge. That's topiary. But now they're doing it down there. Like when I was growing up, maybe old ladies might just pluck off their eyebrows because they go, I could draw a better pair, you know, and they just draw a pair of cartoon eyebrows. But not here, up here, you know. So they just look really surprised all the time, just like, oh, Jesus, what? I shouldn't be doing that. And it could happen to me any time. One time I was over in New York doing a gig in the Bronx, in Dolan's Bar in Yonkers, and the fella who came to collect me, to drive me there, he was pretty cool. He arrived in his car and he walked over, he was like, hey, yo man, I'll drive you to the show, bro. Forget about it, bro. I'll drive you, motherfucker. He was an Irish fella, been there for a week. He just really settled into New York really well. He loved it. Loved the culture. Anyway, after the show then he's up to me, he's like, yo man, I really enjoyed the show. I feel like I owe you a night out because you gave me an entertainment for the night, you know, I want to bring you out, man. And then he goes, I want to bring you to a strip club, man. So in my head I'm going, half of me's going, oh brilliant, a strip club. I never thought I'd get to a strip club ever in my life. So that's half of me. Now, I'm not mad at it. I don't like the idea of going to a strip club or a lap dancing club. Like, when you think about it, why do you want to go somewhere that you pay in just to make you more frustrated than you already are? There's no logic in it. To go somewhere where you go and there's a girl and she's like dancing away and she's just got like little knickers on or something and she's dancing. But then you can't go up and talk to her afterwards. You're not going to go out with her. And you can't go up and go, how you doing? That was brilliant. And big fan of your work, but do you want to meet on Wednesday? Like, I'll buy you some clothes if you want. Like, what's your hobby? No, you can't talk to them or touch them. It's ridiculous. It's like the equivalent of going to a restaurant where you can't eat the food. You just go to look at food. You just go in there, sit there. The chef comes out with a platter and he just dances around and shows you. There's food. And you start throwing cash at the food. Go, amazing food. And then if you pay extra, you go into a room on your own and stare at a dinner for half an hour. Oh, look at that. I never get dinner like that at home. No way. That maybe stood out. It was more of the way I walked. I just realised, I just come from an Irish bar in the Bronx and my Irishness was way up here and I realised I had really got an Irish walk and I felt, I felt like it was exaggerated then when I walked in. I felt like I was walking in like that going, yeah, that's right. In comparison to how everyone else is walking there, I felt like I was like, oh, Jesus, Journey Mac. Look at that girl over there with no blouse in her at all, huh? On a November night. Fair play to her now, fair play, lads. I just felt, I did feel like everyone's, I felt like just such an Irish idiot. And I walked in anyway, and I was having the crowd, everyone's, having a chat and everything, and I was having a drink, a bottle of beer at the bar. But I didn't know I thought strip clubs is where you watched a show. I didn't know it was interactive, like, so I was just having a beer, and then I looked to my right. This girl was after sneakily reversing up to me like this. Like a silent little milk truck. And just was doing that to me. And then occasionally looking around the corner of her arse for a reaction. And it was acceptable in this place. That was normal, carry on. Like that, if that happened in any bar, anywhere else, if you were somewhere in like Drogheda or something, having a pint, and you looked around and suddenly there's a girl just doing that to you, you'd be like, what's going on? Are you all right there? Are your hips are gone, is it? Your hips gone, is it? Is it sciatica? I'd say it's sciatica by the look of that now. And you're having an arse spasm as well, by the way. But the problem, it wasn't sciatica. That wasn't the problem with her at all. It was capitalism. That was the problem. She could have been a single mother, or she was trying to get through college. She was trying to make some money. So the whole idea was, she would do that for a while. You get then a $20 note or something, put it in her thong. She go away with your $20, and you're meant to feel like a man, going, yeah, put $20 in a thong. Yeah, I'm a man. Didn't make me feel like a man. I felt under pressure to be putting $20 in the thong, and yet at the same time, in my head, all I'm thinking is, there's a sandwich I could have bought tomorrow. Jesus Christ. That was a waste anyway. That was a waste. And it was happening, so you'd have to do that. It was like going to mass, except instead of a collection plate, it was just an arse would be come around looking for money, going, come on, it's for the roof. Come on, put it in there, go on. If you've no cash, you can swipe your card there. Yeah, I didn't enjoy it. Anyway, also, I always feel if I do something that I'm not happy in myself about, I always feel like my mother's watching me from heaven, like she's dead, and she's not stalking me. Yeah. Like, I just imagine she's watching me and then bringing other dead people over to have a look as well. Just to make show of me. I'd say it's like a flat screen in heaven where you look at live people. And it's a bit like Facebook Live. But anyway, and they're looking and other people are saying to her, I feel sorry for you, Mrs. Rooney, he's a disgrace, you know. But like, because that's what Irish Catholic mothers do. They just make you feel, they're the most passive-aggressive people in the world. Irish Catholic mothers can just make you feel, bring you right down to sides without raising their voice at all. They just make you feel guilty. Right, so when I was like 12 or something, there was a teenage disco in the local parish hall, and I said to my mother, Mammy, can I go to the teenage disco on Friday? And she was like, sure, go on out. Like, she's from Galway. She was like, go on out and enjoy yourself. Sure, someone in this house might as well enjoy themselves. Because it won't be me anyway. And if I'm lonely, I'll crochet a friend to talk to, I suppose. But you all know that, and you can never get that out of your head. You can emigrate, go off to Australia and think I've left all that behind, and you're dancing away in some nightclub in Sydney and going, I've left the small town and the Catholic upbringing behind, and you're having great crack, and then suddenly your mother's voice is in your head going, sure, you might as well see the world. I'll never see it anyway. And if I die, I'll bury myself, I suppose. And that's the end of your night out. Actually, you might as well get a plane home, to be honest. Yeah. So but Irish people, yeah, we travel a lot, and we know what, we travel, we fly a lot, we emigrate a lot, and it's we emigrate now to nicer places than we did years ago. So we emigrate. Now we go to like Dubai or Australia, Canada. But back in the 60s and 50s, my parents' day, they left a lovely place in Ireland. They have a lovely place like Galway, and they'd go to Bolton or Sunderland. And are there any English people here? Here, yeah. It's a lovely country. Anyway, And they'd just go to an Irish pub in Bolton and sing about going back to Ireland. Sing about flying back, but not in a plane, with the wings of a bird. I don't know why they wouldn't go for the plane option. They would be singing going, if I had the wings of a swallow. What about if you had a ticket for a plane? Would that not work better? No. No, the wings of a swallow, that's how I'll go back to Ireland. By de-winging a swallow and sellotaping the wings to my shoulders. It's the best way back to Ireland. Anyway. But now a lot of Irish people go to Dubai, and let me tell you, they are in Dubai for about 3 weeks, and they turn into wankers. So you meet them, after I do a show, and then I meet them, and they're like, "Oh, it's great over here, and you don't have to pay taxes, and you have servants looking after your children." Like, Irish people with servants, they're a fucking disgrace. They are the first generation of Irish people who won't be